Let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Morning, everyone. Welcome to the Monday, October 17th meeting of the Board of County Commissioners. We are back from our travels in Iowa. Good to be back in Kansas.
Yes, it is.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Madam Clerk, the first item, please.
First item is item 3, consent agenda.
Are there questions on the consent agenda? There are 5 items.
Madam Chair, I would move for approval of the consent agenda as presented.
There's a motion by Commissioner Cook,
I'll second, Madam Chair.
second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Item 4, new business. A, County Clerk, number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Madam Chair, this morning we have one voucher report dated October 14th, 2016. Total amount of the vouchers, $3,363,976.75. Significant items on the voucher report include Capers, $343,000, Grace Med's second half tax amount of $1 million, bridge project of $498,000, Horizon Health payment for the jail $160,000, 9/11 phone service $222,000, and then holding accounts of $540,000. I've reviewed the vouchers, and I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
Thank you. There's a motion by Commissioner Archer,
Second.
second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
I'll move approval.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Item A3, acknowledge receipt of correspondence and consider approval of reclassification of 3 positions in the County Clerk's office. And Commissioners, last week, in my absence, the payroll and benefits were removed from the transition out of my department and to HR, and I was not opposed to that. So what happened was it freed up something that I was going to be addressing after the first of the year, because right now I would normally be spending a lot of time preparing for the open enrollment, but I don't have that responsibility anymore. So I have positions in my accounts payable area that have been in need of reclassification for a very long time. We have had in my accounts payable area, I have had 26, in the last 20 years, there have been 26 people in these 3 positions. For the most part, only 2 of those positions we've been able to keep anyone into the all. So mostly you could say that of 2 positions. So 26 people coming and going. I've had people who won't even stay through, can't even make it through probation. The position is not like any of the other accounts payable clerks across the county. These have been union positions the whole time I've been in office. However, they've always been different account. They're not just an account clerk. They handle confidential information. They handle information from payroll. They handle information from the district attorney's office. They handle information, many confidential documents. A matter of fact, over the last 3 years especially, I have had to step in a lot to actually process the checks. And in that process, I became more and more aware of just exactly what these people are having to, what they're paying. The whole process, especially, and it's always been different, even when we were on the mainframe. When we're on the mainframe, everybody just sent their invoices in, and my staff entered everything. When IFAS came along, we had every department then had an accounts payable clerk. They do the POs. All the invoices come to my office. However, we're the actual ones who pay it. That's why I say AP coordinators. That's what they are. They are not AP clerks. They don't do anything at all what the other AP clerks do. I know that the union is not going to be in favor of this because they do not want these positions to be out of the union. I'm not taking them out of the union because I feel that it makes them a lesser, you couldn't trust a union person. That's not what I'm doing this for. I'm doing this because we can't get anybody, I can't get anybody in that position short, and I can't make the requirements under the union position that I can under this. So I can do this because of the way I had to set up my 17 budget. I will have funding to do this, and I'm just asking that the commission consider this. I've spoken, I didn't get a chance to speak to Commissioner Bueller before the meeting. I spoke to the other two, and I appreciate take the time. But like I said, this is something that I would like to get going. We're getting fast approaching year end, and this is something that it's still going to take some time to get people hired. I know it will, to go through the whole process. But I just feel that this is going to open up more options for my office.
Okay, a couple questions. So it's reclassify the account clerk 3 and 2 account clerk 2 positions, and then they all would become accounts payable coordinator.
Yes.
And so, and all those positions are vacant right now, or they're full
Two
right
of
now?
the,
Two
I have
two of the
one,
three
I have one, the account clerk 3 position is full.
Is full, but the
And-
two account clerk 2 positions are not filled.
No.
Okay. How long has it been since those have been filled? A
No.
while?
We got an applicant, just, I wanna say maybe a month ago, and we were, before, we were reviewing it, and, as we looked through it, we did not find that it met the minimum qualifications, which is what, HR, but, my, accountant and I looked at that one, we did not interview. So we pulled the applicants, and we were in just the process of going to a temp agency again, because it'll take even from the time we would, start interviews, it'll take weeks, to get someone on. So then we went to we were just in the process of getting the temp agency set up, and when all this happened, rather swiftly with my payroll department, and so as of Saturday, since I have HR and benefits no longer, my responsibility, I had the time to put forth to do this, so we thought that was a better option, because I really do believe if I could open these positions up in county, which I would do, because I think there's people out there that actually would apply for these positions, but because, they're one of the requirements is they have to have at least 8 years of accounts payable experience. I can't do that on a accounting clerk position. The union once, had recommended that we just make an account clerk 4 position. There again, I want this position to be for the unique positions in my office. There is no one else that does what my office does. In this particular instance, there is not another, account. And I had said when Mr. Crowell and I met with Ms. Childers and Mrs. Scribner, I said, okay, let's do it account clerk 4, but let's make it account clerk 4, and it can only be this position in the county clerk's office. And they can't do that. You can't do that you would have other, and I'm not saying I don't want anybody else to be able to have a account clerk 4 position, but I don't think I would be meeting the needs of my office by doing that. So this was what I chose to do. And like I said, I have I have the budget authority, and
Okay. Questions, further questions? Commissioner Cook or Commissioner Archer?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. And I had the opportunity to visit with the county clerk, and I appreciate that. And like I told her, turnover in and of itself isn't rationale to reclassify jobs. And I think I really would like some input from our HR department on this change. I know the things that concern me are we just went through CBIZ and had position descriptions that were documented at that time. Why are things changing so dramatically now? And I understand that the HR director really hasn't had an opportunity to review the changes and make a recommendation and advise the commission. I know there are union issues that have come up, and something like this always has a spillover effect with other departments that will say, why can't I reclassify a position? So with all those things, I would like to have this reviewed by HR to make sure that there's justification and documentation to make this change. And as I mentioned to the county clerk, she will not be here Thursday or Monday, so I would make a motion to defer this consideration until October the 27th, if I can get a second on that motion.
Thank you. First I'll hear from Commissioner Cook before I would second.
Well, if you want a second, that's fine. I would also second, but I know that we have a union representative at the back,
We do.
Mr. Scribner. I did have an opportunity to speak with him on Friday. I don't know if the other commissioners have, but also having the union perspective on it, that this is the classified employees, these are in a bargaining unit, and how we might be able to accomplish this through the bargaining unit as well, because we have other entities that have input, and so.
Right.
Okay. So there is a motion, or by Commissioner Archer, to defer till the 27th, a second by Commissioner Cook. Before we vote on that, though, anyone in the audience, Mr. Scribner, Mike, do you want to come up and say anything?
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Mike Scribner, Teamsters. I had the opportunity to meet with Mrs. Beck about 4 months ago, along with Mr. Crowell and at the time, our chief steward of the clerical bargaining unit, Debbie Childers. And we talked about numerous things, and I agree with Mrs. Beck on almost everything, except for moving them out of the bargaining unit. What she wants to do can happen inside the bargaining unit. And I think I encourage Mr. Crowell and her and I to make that happen. It's not going to happen as quick as it would happen here, but it will happen. It can happen. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else wanting to speak on this item? For clarification, I would like to know as chair how I put this, when we put it back on, is it acknowledged receipt of correspondence? Do we have to approve reorganization, reclassification? I'd like some guidance on that publicly.
I'm sure our answer will be the same.
I would hope so.
Good morning, Jim Crowell, Human Resources Director. Yes, you do need to approve reclassifications of positions, and particularly so for positions that are covered by a contract within the bargaining unit that has been signed by the commission.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you, Jim. There's a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, will that give you enough time to get together with those?
I'm ready today, so I'd definitely be ready, but I just want to make one comment, and I appreciate what you're going to do, that you're going to need the time to look this over, but I just find it rather interesting that I notified you that I was going to be absent last Monday because of a death in my family. I would not be here. I was told that the payroll transition was not going to occur on October 10th, specifically. It occurred even after I said, and I let you know that, I wasn't given the courtesy to even, for you to even put it off for one meeting. That's all.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0, and we will revisit this item on the 27th of October. Next item, please.
Item B, corrections. Number 1, consider approval of request to solicit bids to modify 2 inmate cells to comply with ADA standards at an estimated cost of $23,000 per cell to be paid with funds remaining in the kitchen renovation project.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Cole, Shawnee County Department of Corrections. Before you today, I'm asking permission to solicit bids to go out and to price the cost of renovating cells at the Department of Corrections so that we meet and exceed those standards that are set by the American Disabilities Association. That we are not under any mandate to do this by any means, but I think to be responsible and proactive, that we do have inmates that have specific disabilities and needs, and that when we started doing research through our officer safety, or our safety officer who is a sergeant, we did meet with staff with ADA, and we did some research through our legal team at the Department of Corrections, and there are a specific percentage of the cells that do need to meet those standards, and that is, I believe it's about 2%. For us, that means we have to have a total of about 6 cells, and so we would like to be able to start the process now. In meeting with Betty Griner of Administrative Services, we did have an excess of money that was left over from the kitchen COP, and that we would like to be able to use those funds for this amount of money, for this project. That we're estimating the cells to cost about $23,000 each. And the biggest issue is, they have to remodel the whole cell the way it was designed back in the early 80s. It did not have ADA specs and things like that in mind. So this means a renovation, a big one. So with that, I would stand for any questions you may have.
And no questions. I'll move approval of the request to solicit bids. Is there a
Second.
second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Item B2, consider approval of request to solicit bids to replace the chiller unit at the correction facility at an estimated cost of $450,000 from the current budget.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Cole, Shawnee County Department of Corrections. I don't know if this was a sign sent from above, but the chiller is out today in an excess that's going to be over 90 degrees. But we are asking to solicit bids for the replacement of the chiller. It's a very big unit that handles all the air conditioning system within the facility. This is different than the HVAC systems that we have been approved and have put up there. We have met with Bill Kroll regarding this matter. This is the original chiller that was put into the facility in the late 80s. That this chiller has gone down numerous times in our facility. When we had Bill come over and look at it, it was in his expert opinion that probably this chiller would not last another year. There was recommendations a few years back to look at this, but the funds were not available for this type of an expense. And right now, we're just asking to be able to go out and look for bids. We do have money available where we've seen savings in some of our other areas of health care and food service and things like this. I can assure you that, that has come up in other meetings regarding the hiring of staff, that this expense would not in any way affect our ability to hire or recruit or market for staff. It will not hinder that at all. But this is a big ticket item, and I understand that, and I understand the importance and the necessity to go through the process, because this is a big expense. But it is needed. It is a major overhaul to the existing facility, and this is about a 30-year-old facility. I would leave any questions to Bill or anybody who's examined it. And we do think, with Bill's expertise and opinion, that we could have a company come in and look at maybe possibly putting in 3 smaller units for better energy efficiency, to where not one big unit has to go, that maybe 2 separate ones can be used at a certain time, things like that. So I stand for any questions, or if Bill needs to add anything, I certainly allow it.
Thanks, Brian. We have, though, over the past several years, replaced the HVAC units. I mean,
Yes.
we've done that consistently with how much at purchase, like,
I believe they're about $150,000, and we
Yeah.
replaced 6.
yeah,
We
that's
were
pretty
scheduled-
significant.
We're scheduled to have the last one done this or next month,
Right.
and we'll be done with that, and then those have warranties and will last long after I'm gone. I don't know. They last 25 years.
Where are you going, Brian?
Nowhere, I hope.
Betty Greiner, Director of Administrative Services. I just wanted to add one thing, and I am in support of this because when we talked, this is a big-ticket item, and by going out for bids, hopefully we can get a competitive price. We didn't want to wait until it was that emergency, and then you have to get whoever can do it. Now, I guess it's down today, but that was the thought behind this, that we can get a bid that is good for, 90 days or something like that, so that we can try to get a competitive bid and hopefully with some savings.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ben.
I'll move approval of the request.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer, just by here. All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed, motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Item C, Facilities Maintenance. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C 294-2016 with Ozark Integrated Pest Service, Inc. to provide pest control services at all county locations, to include the new health agency and Parks and Recreation locations at a cost of $2,160 per month.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bill Kroll, Facilities Maintenance Director. The item before you essentially cleans up the existing contract with Ozark Pest Control. It adds the new location on for the swimming pool, so that is seasonal in nature, and also our new health agency location over on East Circle Drive. And it also removes the facilities that Grace Med now occupies. And the reduction in cost from the original contract, actually, when we're all done with this, is $20 a month. So we're saving some money.
Righty. Other questions?
Move for approval.
It's a motion by Commissioner Cook to
Sec-
approve,
sec-
second by Commissioner Archer.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed, motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item D, Parks and Recreation. Number 1, consider awarding bid for treatment of aquatic Eurasian water milfoil at Lake Shawnee to the State Management Services in an amount of $57,844 and $315 per gallon for bump treatments, and authorization and execution of contract C 295-2016 for the same period with 2016 from the 2016 Parks and Rec budget.
Good morning. Excuse me. Good morning, Commissioners. Terry Bertles, Parks and Recreation, asking for your approval to award a bid and approve the contract to Estate Management Services for control of Eurasian water milfoil in Lake Shawnee. We had 2 responsive bidders. We really expected 2. Thought 3 was a possibility. These 2 compete very aggressively throughout the Midwest, Great Plains area. So we got 2 good responsive bids. Estate Management Services is the company that we have worked with in the past on aquatic vegetation control. Their bids is the same as they bid the last time. And then the follow-up is $315 a gallon for the product for bump treatments. If you remember, a few years ago, we were in the middle of a drought, and Lake Shawnee was essentially a bathtub. There was no water coming in, no water going out, evaporation going on. It helps on, it doesn't help on hardly anything, but it helps on keeping your parts per billion up in a lake like that, a product. If you don't have any water going out, you don't have any new water coming in, so your level stays consistent. The bump treatments essentially take that, keep that level in that 3 to 5 part per billion range, which it needs to be for an extended period of time to effectively control the vegetation. So the reality is the initial treatment is $57,844, and then any additional costs really kind of depend on Mother Nature and how much rain we get, how much water we have going out, and how often we have to kind of replenish to get that 3 to 5 part per billion count in the lake. That's kind of a lot of information. I do expect that this is an ongoing thing that we'll have to deal with, probably every 4 to 5 years. The level of vegetation today is not as bad as it was the first time we treated. I think it's at a level that is acceptable to treat without getting too bad and trying to play catch up. So So I think probably somewhere in the neighborhood of a 3 to 5 year rotation on treatments is what we'll be looking at. With that, I'd be glad to answer any questions you might have.
Thanks, Terry. Any questions? No? I'll move approval of the contract. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Thank you.
Item E, Emergency Management. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of Contract C-296-26 and Contract C-297-2016 with Northeast Kansas Homeland Security Management for the transfer of 3 all-band portable radios and for generator power accessories for use by Shawnee County Emergency Management at no cost to the county.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dusty Nichols, Emergency Management. Pretty straightforward. This is transfer of equipment to Shawnee County for use for emergencies or as we deem necessary.
Move to approve the contracts.
It's a motion by Commissioner Archer.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dusty.
Item 5, Administrative Communications.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jeff Shaban, Kansas Expo Center. Had a good weekend, busy weekend. The Gem and Mineral Show, the gun show, hockey and horses, of course. So it was good, and this week is real exciting. Tomorrow we have the Corn and Breaking Benjamin concert. Starts, I believe, at 6 o'clock. 4 bands, plenty of tickets. Come on down if you can. And then this weekend, well, before that, Third Thursday, our final outdoor Third Thursday, coming up on, well, am I right? Yeah, on the 20th.
Yeah.
So, and it's going to have that Oktoberfest feel, so fun, bring your dogs. And then this weekend, which I'm really looking forward to, the Mother Earth News Fair is coming to town. So we're keeping pretty busy over there.
Good.
Great.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Morning, Michael Laughlin, Shawnee County Parks and Recreation. I know John Knight, our director, has already shared with you a copy of the article that we recently had in the October-November issue of World Water Park magazine. Features Midwest Health Aquatic Center. The article stretched over 5 pages and had 9 photos. Been with us this morning, Gerald Holroyd from Midwest Health, big sponsor for the program, and Jared's also a member of our foundation board of directors. We're told this is the best issue to be in. If you look at the top, it says convention issue. This is the one that gets passed out to everybody attending. So this is a trade journal. It focuses on the conceptual development of the water park, how we work with the different vendors to create a truly unique experience for our guests. To highlight such first is the bow tie wave pool, which is the first of its kind in the country. And also Zach, the Vice President of Avalanche Water Slide, Zach Stone, noted that our 35-foot high water slide complex is that company's best yet, and he places it among the top 10 to 15% of water slides in the country at municipal water parks. The article does note the generous $1 million gift from Midwest Health to maintain the aquatic center in first-class condition into the future. We didn't start without that gift. The article quotes Terry Bertles, our deputy director, who put in a lot of hard work on this park. Dave Alicar, our aquatic supervisor, is here this morning. Dave also had a lot of good input, including the colorful striped slides that act as a billboard that beckon people in. Randy Luby, our other deputy director, also had input into the article. Being asked to submit an article like this to an international trade journal is not just a feather in Shawnee County's cap. It also says that it's confirmation that we truly built an experience worth sharing with others in the industry, and that others in the industry will look at some of our furs to perhaps emulate them in some form or fashion in their own water parks in the future. Thank you.
Very good. Jared, did you want to say anything? I've seen you on some commercials lately, so you don't want to do that.
Different outfit this morning.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike. Commissioners, anything? Oh, Randy, you still? Okay.
Randy Luby, Parks and Recreation. I did want to bring to your attention an article that was in the Capital Journal yesterday, I believe, with the Topeka Golden Gloves. They had an event on October 1st, celebrated 30 years of their club in existence. They had 15 teams from Kansas as well as a couple from out of state. We want to bring this to attention because they did hold this event in Garfield Community Center, and it's exciting times with the club. We're looking at a long-term partnership with the Topeka Golden Gloves, and we're real close to that. We'll be down here in the next couple weeks to present a contract with that. It's a great fit for our community center, and it's a great fit for the Topeka Golden Gloves. So just want to bring that to your attention.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else for administrative communications? Commissioner Archer, Commissioner Cook?
Yeah, I wanted to recognize Rich Eckert, as well as Terry Bertles and the other Parks and Rec staff for the hard work they put into Midwest Health Aquatic Center. And again, thank Midwest Health for their donation to the project. And it was a public-private partnership that got it done. And the interesting thing was in Des Moines, Iowa, where we were last week, that was a key theme, is public and private partnerships to move a community forward. And I learned a lot, and it was a very good experience. One of the things I noticed that was interesting was that Commissioner Cook was always taking notes. Commissioner Bueller was always taking pictures, and I was always asking accounting questions. So that's the executive summary of the trip report. But it was a good event. I want to thank the chamber and the people involved in that opportunity. It was a very, very good learning experience for me, and I can't wait to take some of the ideas we had and move them forward. So, thank you, Madam Chair. I hope I didn't steal anybody's thunder on that.
No.
I might just also thank John Knight for the work that he did, as he's uniquely quiet this morning.
He had a big breakfast, I saw him at the Schools Foundation breakfast.
But also, I look forward to hearing a report back from Mr. Eckert and his team as they've been traveling through Oklahoma and Texas, looking at equine facilities.
Can I real quick?
Yeah, be good.
And Rich Eckert, County Councilor, and of course Bill Kroll was with me. We both have extremely clean shoes, as we had to clean them extensively once we got back. Wearing boots never actually occurred to me. So I will say this: we went to Oklahoma State Fairgrounds, and we walked through a couple of different arenas, 9 or 10 different stall barns, and they're very concentrated. Everything is actually touching, and it's kind of weird for such a big space. Then we went to Tulsa, and all of their buildings are standalone, and that was kind of striking to us. And Tulsa actually is just as big as Oklahoma City, which surprised me. But I do want to share one thing, an idea that I had that I thought was pretty cool, kind of apart from where I'm going to go next. But the state fair is in Oklahoma City. And at some point in time, Tulsa said to themselves, why should they have all the fun? And they created this thing called the Tulsa State Fair. And guess what? It's almost as big as the state fair. I think the numbers we were given were 1.3 go to Oklahoma City and 1.2 million go to the Tulsa State Fair. So, Topeka State Fair, anybody?
Interesting.
Now, here's one thing I do want to share. We were in Tulsa, and we walked through one of their new arenas, and Justin from SMG, he's the equine expert that we have, and then Hans is the buildings facility fellow at the Expo Center. We walked into this arena, and their eyes just went glazed. And Justin turns to me, and he says, this is the one. So we've actually found the arena that we're probably going to base the arena part of our stall on in Tulsa. So just for that alone, it was worth the trip to see that one arena, and that's probably the one that we're going to emulate here. So it was helpful from that standpoint.
Madam Chair, if I may real quickly, we are not going to have any competition from Des Moines because I asked the convention manager if they had an equine center, And he said, "What's that?" I said, "Horses." He said, "No, we're not interested."
Yep.
So that's the good news. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Sure. Commissioner Cook, did you have
No,
anything else? I too want to thank the chamber. It was an excellent trip. Curtis Sneeden did a great job. He organized everything very, very well. Also, thank you to the Polk County Supervisor. That's what they call them up there, not commissioners. They call them supervisors. Bob Brownell, we had a chance to talk with him. And I took all the pictures at the Iowa Events Center, and they just did an amazing job of timelines on the wall of the events that had taken place there through the years. Just very, very well done, and so it was very impressive. I know Morgan Chilson from the Cap Journal, she's going to do some follow-up additional articles, but the Des Moines Partnership, I was also impressed, their ability to work on the inner core, but also their ability to work regionally and even globally, and that was just, it was impressive, so. What else was this morning? Had breakfast with Mr. Knight and a few other people at the Shawnee Heights Public Schools Foundation breakfast, and I had a hard time pulling away. That's why I didn't get here till right before the meeting, because Dr. Randy Watson, the Kansas Commissioner of Education, was speaking, and it was very interesting. So, anyway, my thanks to the people out at Shawnee Heights. I don't have anything else. Next item, please.
Item 6, executive session.
I do not believe there is a need. All right, we are adjourned. Thank you.